not going to win the jackpot. As the computer spews out numbers, it has no memory of which numbers it previously picked for somebody else. So you won't be the only one with those computer-generated numbers. And if that number hits, you must split the jackpot with the other winners. So pick your own numbers. There's no guarantee that you'll be the only one with those numbers, but at least they're yours. And good luck. I hope you win it. There's no question. You have to be tech ahead today. The easiest way to do it is to get my free newsletter. Sign up right now at getkim.com. As a small business owner, you don't have the luxury of clocking out early. Your business is on your mind 24/7. So when you're hiring, you need a partner that grinds just as hard as you do. That hiring partner is LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn makes it easy to post your job for free, share it with your network, and get qualified candidates that you can manage all in one place. Their new feature can help you write job descriptions and then quickly get your job in front of the right people. Either post your job for free or pay to promote. Promoted jobs get 3 times more qualified applicants. At the end of the day, the most important thing to your small business is the quality of candidates. And with LinkedIn, you can feel confident that you're getting the best. Find out why more than 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring today. Find your next great hire on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Kim. That's linkedin.com/Kim to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Do it today. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Kim.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome into Talkback here on this Friday. It is September 5th. I'm Al Quartermont along with Stephen Maxwell on this National Cheese Pizza Day.
I had pepperoni and pineapple last night.
Wait,
Pizza.
Pepperoni and pineapple?
Yeah, dude, it's good. You don't like pineapple on pizza?
I do, but it would be more like with ham, Canadian bacon.
That's good too. Try it with pepperoni. Tell me what you think. It's good.
Wow.
I do this. I order a pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
With pineapple, and then I put honey on it.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good. Sometimes we'll put like maraschino cherries.
Some people put hot honey on there. Maraschino cherries.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Hot honey is good. If you get the honey pea at Jim Deggy's, that's not what I got last night, but theirs is fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You like that?
I do, yeah.
You know that's pepperoni on there.
I do.
Oh, okay. Just throw a pineapple and it's good. We got BJ's. BJ's is one of my favorites.
I know you have to be careful because of your role. You're sort of the overall endorser, promoter of local
I love
foods.
all local business. But
you're now as an influencer, you can't just say you like one over another.
I like pizza, period. BJ's does a very good job.
BJ's is lit.
They are lit, as they say.
Yeah. My go-to for BJ's is a full house without onions, but I get extra mushrooms.
Not a big Full House guy.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
I'm not like a supreme pizza guy.
Yeah.
I want to ruin it with vegetables, which is surprising that you would like something like that.
Well, other than the mushrooms, the only other vegetable would be the green peppers.
And you don't put those on there?
No, I do.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It gives it just a good flavor.
I gotcha. Bell peppers are good.
Yeah.
But we had it, we ordered pizza, had the brother and my dad over for the Cowboys game.
Wow.
And
that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I've been a little bit more apathetic towards them the past year and a half or so.
Yeah.
And I can't help myself. I was so upset.
Were you yelling at the TV?
No, never.
No?
I don't yell at the TV
anymore.
I'm pretty chill. It just kind of has a sick feeling in my stomach.
Did Sophie watch the game?
She did for a while.
Really?
Yeah, and then she had better things to do.
So 24-20 was the final score for those of you who didn't see the end, and it's quite likely you didn't because there was a big rain delay or lightning delay of the game, delayed at about 45 minutes?
An hour. It was
wow.
an hour, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So it didn't get off to the greatest start for the Eagles when their star defensive lineman he spit on Dak Prescott, didn't hit him in the face, kind of looked like it hit him in the chest, but the umpires, the referees saw it, and they said, you're out of here.
Yeah.
I feel like for a violation like that, you should lose your salary for the game.
He doesn't?
No, I don't think so.
That's interesting.
I wouldn't think so.
Huh.
I'm sure the NFL Players Union wouldn't allow it, but
I think ejecting is a little too much.
Is that what it was?
And I hate the Eagles.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't care about Jalen Carter. And it helped us out tremendously. But I think ejecting is a little harsh.
It's interesting that in all the lines you can't cross in the NFL, the most strict seems to be spitting on someone.
Well, they upped that taunting rule, too, because one of the Eagles players tackled the running back for a loss. And then he just does like this thing right here.
Yeah,
He's like looking over him and flexes his muscles, and they did a 15-yard penalty on him.
Wow.
For taunting.
I honestly didn't watch much of the game. I felt the cold coming on yesterday, so you can kind of hear it in me a little bit today. So I went to bed early, but
yeah, it's probably not a cold. You probably got what I got.
The crud.
It's something.
Something.
I ain't feeling
Thanks,
too good.
man.
I ain't feeling too good either.
Wow.
Well, you can blame Sophia. I'm sure she got it from.
That's
daycare.
true. It's just making the circle. So yeah.
I saw COVID cases are allegedly up in central Louisiana.
Oh, is that it?
So it could be anything.
Yeah. But then I heard on Louisiana Radio Network that ragweed gets bad this time of year, so it could be allergies. Who knows? Who knows?
I try to quit figuring it out.
Yeah.
Like when they say we need you to take this test or whatever, I'm like,
My wife had me taking all her pills and potions last night and this morning, so it has made me feel better. I sound a little congested, but I actually feel much better than I did yesterday. It was one of those things where I got home yesterday and I just felt ugh. So I'm like, I'm just going to jump in bed at 8 o'clock of all times.
Well, when I'm sick, wow, that is early. When I'm sick, I usually feel horrible in the morning, and then by the day goes on, it just kind of goes away.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for that.
Yeah. Just got to get on with it, and it'll subside, hopefully.
But yeah. Cowboys look better than I thought they would.
Yeah.
And it's hard to
had
tell
a chance
week one.
at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Now, I did wake up, and it was around, I don't even remember what time, but I turned it on in the bedroom just to see, and it was right when the Cowboys were going for the 4th down and 3.
Yeah.
And CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott threw it out in the flat, and CeeDee dives for it, and I thought he was going to catch it, but you notice on the replay, as he's catching it, that defensive back for the Eagles is coming in on him, and just at the last second, he kind of looked at the defensive back, and
he thought he was about to get blasted.
and it looked like he was going to.
Well, the play before that is what was bad.
Really?
CeeDee dropped a wide open pass down the seam. It would have been like a 30-yarder.
Oh.
Hit him right in the palms.
Wow.
Like he never drops those passes. He dropped 4 passes yesterday. Very uncanny. And if he catches those, they might win.
Yeah.
They had their chances.
Yeah.
But then again, if, an Eagles defensive back if he would have caught that interception in the 4th quarter,
Right.
the game would have been over. So
That's
you can
true.
say that for both sides.
Yeah.
Eagles are a better team. Dallas played with them.
Yep.
And it was okay for me.
Better team right now. You never know. It's a long season in the National Football League.
Dude, they're stacked.
The Eagles?
They're like a combined 6,000 pounds on offense and fast. Like, what do you do?
I know.
Like, they stacked it up with Saquon Barkley. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
But you'll have injuries, and you just never know.
Yeah, players spit on each other, and they get
Very,
ejected.
very hard for teams to repeat as NFL Super Bowl champions.
I wish Jalen Hurts would have spit on somebody, and they could have taken him out of the game.
Or Saquon.
Saquon.
Saquon's a class act. He would never do that.
Yeah. I don't know why you
It's only
spit on
those.
Dak.
It's
He's
only
such a
those
nice guy.
Georgia players that would do something like that.
I could imagine.
Speaking of which, we got a big college football weekend coming up. I'm sure people are geared up for that. Louisiana Tech will be playing at LSU. We have the start of the high school football season coming up tonight as well. So lots going on. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on the Beyond Bang Talk line.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you two doing?
We're doing okay. Not bad for a Friday. Actually, great for a Friday because it's Friday.
I've never had pineapple on pepperoni pizza. Like you said, I've ham or Canadian bacon.
I know. I've never had.
tend to be,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a little different.
Well,
I tend to be, BJ's is our go-to also over here in Pineville.
Yeah, it's good.
And we get the, what do you call it, the one with everything on it,
The Full House.
pretty much. Yeah, the full house, yeah. I find it's just a regular size with, not a large, but just a medium with feed me and the wife and a little bit left over.
Yeah, we wasted a lot of pizza. I got 2 larges last night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you have pizza for breakfast?
I'm thinking about having it again when I get home. I hope my wife put it in the fridge. I think I forgot to do it this morning. But no, try it. Pepperoni and pineapple. And if you don't like it, I'm sure Al will reimburse you. Just give it a shot.
Yeah. Well, I tend to like a little more. I mean, you see, because I like mushrooms, and unlike Al, I like onions. So.
Yeah.
I love onions.
I'm not an onion guy.
Actually, if you did onion, pineapple, and pepperoni, that'd probably be really good.
Well, that sounds interesting. Throw a little fresh mushrooms on there, too.
Yeah, I do that.
One thing I can't stand is when they use canned mushrooms. That's just like, why? What's the point, you know?
See, I like canned mushrooms.
Yeah.
They're okay in some things, but I mean, on a fresh pizza, come on.
Al, the more like 1980s kid who had to learn how to survive for himself after school, the more food like that he'll enjoy, I'm sure. Like canned mushrooms, you put a Lunchable on there, you'd probably do that too.
SpaghettiOs. We didn't have Lunchables.
I don't know.
SpaghettiO pizza? Are you kidding?
No. Just
popcorn ice cream.
He's talking about the kinds of foods we were raised on in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, SpaghettiOs. I got you. Yeah. Oh, wait. So let's see. What is it after baby boomers? Gen X?
Gen X, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was right on the edge right there, the last year of the boomers.
64?
It's 3,
okay.
I guess.
Yeah, 64 was technically the last year for boomers. 65 first year of Gen X.
Well, yeah, but, the late, I probably have more in common with Gen Xers.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not completely civilized. I mean, we rode our bicycles, and we were playing cards stuck on the spokes, and we drank water straight from the faucet.
Or the water hose.
Or the water hose, yeah. We're only partly civilized.
Exactly. Yeah, for us, our Lunchables were, my mom would cut up slices of bologna in like little triangles and put them on a saltine cracker. That was our Lunchable.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
Did you ever fry bologna? When I say fry,
yes.
Take bologna and put it in a skillet, and you learn to make a couple of cuts in it so it won't curl up.
That's right. Oh, absolutely. That's another go-to. Fried bologna on white bread.
There you go. Did y'all happen to watch?
No.
What's that?
Did y'all happen to watch any of the news highlights about Kennedy going? Not Senator Kennedy, but
Secretary.
RFK Jr.
Yes.
First off, it's really hard to listen to him for an extended period of time because honestly, his voice sounds like gravel coming out of a chute.
Yeah.
But I think some of the senators had some valid concerns, but is it just me or are they refusing to let anybody answer them?
They always do that.
Totally.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
It's just political jabs the whole time.
It's just grandstanding.
Yeah.
You know what they should have done for that hearing? Had in front of every senator who was on that panel have a little card that shows how much money they received from Big Pharma and donations.
Well, and they were talking about the COVID deaths. The problem I have with it is somebody had a stroke. They tested positive and died, tested positive for COVID.
Right.
And then they labeled it a COVID death.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. This is not making much sense.
Somebody dying with COVID, not necessarily from COVID. Yeah.
Right. And if you look at the data, and it's on the CDC's own website, broken down by age group, the people most at risk for COVID back then and probably still today is those over 70, in particular over 80, obese or morbidly obese, or diabetic, or some other. I'm going, wait a minute. Do you know we had, I think it was a total of 1,100 deaths maybe of ages 0 to 18.
Right.
I mean, I think the percentage of fatality rate was like 0.000812 or something like that.
That's right.
I mean, that's just crazy low. But it was like 6 to 8% for age 80 and up.
Right. And a lot of those had comorbidities with it as well. The one thing I'll say about the Kennedy hearing was that they were trying to paint him as an anti-vaxxer who's looking to destroy the, health system or whatever, the country. But if you really listen to him, if you've listened to him all along, what he's trying to do is ensure that there are safe, properly tested vaccines. And he cited several studies, some of which have not been allowed to be publicized, including the one that looked at, it was done in Atlanta with the MMR vaccine, where it showed that at a particular age that it was given, increased the rate of autism versus those that waited a little bit longer. But they just weren't hearing it. They weren't having it. They didn't want to hear. They had their agenda. They're trying to paint him as a conspiracist, anti-vaccine guy. And all along what Kennedy is saying is we need to ensure that it's safe. And he made a humongous point about when he was a kid, when his uncle was president, the rate of people with disease in the country was only like 3%. Now it's 76%. So if we feel like the health policy of this country has been good, well, the numbers are not bearing that out. And that was his main point. I thought he did a great job.
Well, I agree with you on that.
76% of people with diseases, period.
I'm trying to remember the exact wording. It'll come to me in a second.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, but that would include things like having high blood pressure and.
But they were talking about like the dietary guidelines, and he says, Fruit Loops are at the top of the pyramid. Like, one, like, who in the crap is listening to what the government says about what you should or shouldn't eat anyway?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when they did the food pyramid, they put the starchy carbohydrates at the first, and they put the quality proteins at the bottom. It just kind of tells you.
But the pyramid's opposite is saying that you should eat less. Like at the top of the pyramid, that means you should have that much less because it's the point of the pyramid. At the bottom, you should have more proteins and vegetables. But we don't even use the pyramid anymore. It's like
we don't.
It's like a dietary plate or something.
And one thing, when you talk about eating starches and all, our bodies do run on starches, but we're talking about more complex, such as, beans, lentils, that sort of stuff.
Right.
Those are the kind of carbs that are slow to digest.
Right.
It's like either basmati or brown rice.
Right.
Versus, and absolutely, I'm sure, I don't know, you two may not like that. I like a good sushi roll. But, the short grain rice has the highest glycemia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's just, to me, and I'm kind of a nerd with this stuff, at least the diet. Just eat everything in proportion.
Yeah.
Just don't overeat.
Yeah.
Like, I eat sushi all the time, and I just make sure to work out and do it in moderation.
We probably need to be on the Walton and Johnson plan. You know what that is, right?
Seafood, you eat it?
No. Eat less, move around more.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Like, there's no magic keto, there's no magic paleo. You could eat more quality foods, but it's thermodynamics. If you move more, you burn more calories, and you lose weight if you burn more than you eat. Like, it's pretty simple. Yep. Unless you have severe hormone issues. Right. And that's the extent of my scientific knowledge.
Well, you guys have a good Friday and a good weekend.
Thank you so much. Coming up next, we'll talk with State Representative Chuck Owen.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Jobs are in the spotlight with the August numbers due here shortly. Economists expect the report to extend the weakest stretch of U.S. job growth since the pandemic, likely locking in a Fed interest rate cut. Lululemon is bracing for a financial hit following the end of the de minimis tariff exemption. The retailer warned it would take a $240 million hit this year from President Donald Trump's decision to end the exemption covering small packages shipped directly to consumers from abroad. Canada-based Lululemon relied heavily on the de minimis exemption, shipping 2/3 of its U.S. online orders from Canada. Paramount Skydance will be distributing films made by Legendary Entertainment under a new 3-year deal. The company said the first film to be realized under the agreement will be Street Fighter, based on the video game, slated to hit the big screens in October of next year. Stock futures have been mixed on this Friday morning, with the S&P 500 at a record high. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Good morning. Partly cloudy skies on our Friday with a slight chance of an afternoon shower thunderstorm. We're saying about a 20% chance of that. Afternoon high still toasty. 95 for the afternoon high. Now 73 the overnight low tonight under cloudy skies. And then for Saturday, things start to cool down. Cloudy skies, early partly cloudy in the afternoon. We'll see the highs only near 85. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talk Back.
What I'm most excited about is an announcement that we're making now, which is that the Florida Department of Health, in partnership with the governors, is going to be working to end all vaccine mandates in Florida law. All of them. All of them. All of them. Every last one of them.
All right, welcome back here on Talkback. I'm Al Quarterman along with Stephen Maxwell. That was the Surgeon General of Florida just the other day who announced that the state of Florida is going to be working to end all vaccine mandates. Joseph Ladapo, I think is how you say his name. He said every last one is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery. Those were his words. And so...
we never knew how to say his name when I worked there either.
Oh, really?
It was big
Yeah, that's right. You worked in Florida.
Yeah.
So, well, joining us on the phone this morning, State Representative Chuck Owen, who represents Leesville, and DeRitter. And we know at times he has talked about some of the mandates here in this state as well. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. And I think good to talk to both you guys. I would tell you, I think his name is Ladapo.
Ladapo, that's it.
That sounds right.
Dr. Ladapo. Yeah, we invited him. We had a hearing about a year ago. I think I talked to you, Al. I don't think I ever talked to you about it, Stephen. We had 2 days worth of hearing in the House last September, in fact,
Okay.
to talk about the actions of the state government during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And we invited Dr. Ladapo to come address the hearing. And his schedule didn't work for that. So, but he was going to come. He was interested. We're people I run with in the state are big fans of his.
Oh, well, I can imagine. Yeah. So the people you run with.
He's a Liberty guy.
Yes. Yes.
He is a Liberty guy.
And somebody asked me yesterday, not here, but elsewhere, they said, surely you don't agree with that, right? Because you're a person with good sense. And I said, no, actually I do, because I think it's a liberty issue. I think, if people want to vaccinate their children, then they should, but it shouldn't be forced. You shouldn't be forced to have to do
You
it.
tell him to quit calling you Shirley?
I didn't get that point, but you're right. I probably should have. But it's very interesting that some people definitely see this as a liberty issue, and other people see this as a total public health. If you don't agree with this, you're putting your neighbors and others at risk because you don't get it, your kids don't get it, whatever. It's definitely an interesting conversation we're having about this topic these days.
We have a circular argument here that people have all the time about this. There's one going on Facebook right now. Someone's punching me in the nose. The question is, if you have great faith in the inoculations you take, don't worry about somebody else.
Yeah, right.
The inoculation is there to protect you, to build up your resistance. Inoculations don't prevent people from shedding the disease, especially the COVID shots.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, Al, over the course of our lives, the trust in these institutions have eroded.
Yes.
Even when we were kids, look, I still have a shot record from when I was like 10 and under.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like 6 shots before the age of 10. That was it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm sitting here. It's from what used to be the Broyles Clinic in Leesville. Y'all would find it interesting.
Huh.
They gave us a polio inoculation, and that was a sugar cube. You remember that, Al?
Yes, I do. Yep, I do remember that.
They gave us sugar cubes. They gave us a handful of other shots. But they tested those things differently in those days. And one of the things we found out in our hearing last year, and we didn't even know this, if the United States has not had a fully validated inoculation for these shots they're giving minors in like 30 years.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
30 years. A guy named Aaron Siri, one of the guys who used to be one of Secretary Kennedy's lawyers, came and his business is people who are vaccine injured, and he tries to recover damages for how they've been hurt. And he blew the room away when he talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, no, we haven't fully tested any vaccine in 30 years. Mm. We're cutting corners on it. So they're just telling the citizens, no, you got to trust them because the government said do it. It's like, I don't think so.
Wasn't there some kind of law passed in 1996 that allowed for that? I want to say. I'd have to go back and do a little more research, but
I don't know. But look, there is someone I would love to get on y'all's program one day in the not too distant future. She is a human rights advocate up in Ruston. Her name is Jill Hines.
Okay.
Hines has a group called Louisiana Health Freedom, and she drives herself to the Capitol multiple times a year to try to educate lawmakers and policymakers on this stuff. All of her children were vaccine injured. And so Ms. Hines has 3 children who were hurt. And she's very smart. She's highly educated. And she runs circles around the anti-face crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that would be very, very interesting for y'all.
Would love to have her. Yeah, that'd be great. So I guess my question, after seeing Florida make this move, which he says they're going to be working toward that. He didn't announce it. It's immediate. And I'm sure there'll be pushback coming from even their own legislature. Can you foresee, or would you foresee this ever happening in Louisiana? Is there a momentum for something like this?
Look, I don't know that we have any mandated vaccines in Louisiana. We have, like in the schools, for example, we have recommended shot requirements.
Mm-hmm.
But every citizen, meaning every adult who's in charge of every minor child, has the right to refuse. You cannot be denied entry into a public school or even a private school in Louisiana for something like that. You simply can't.
Right.
Now the schools have gotten it wrong over the years, Al, because they'll come in and say, here's your shot requirement. You got to have this done or you can't come back. Completely not true.
Right.
And that went off the rails during COVID. They tried doing the same things during COVID. Citizens have the right to refuse. Now, as far as what goes on inside of private businesses, that's another story, and probably something that merits a large debate.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Because if Stephen Maxwell opens a business, and that's how he wants to conduct his business, that's how he wants to conduct his employees, then we have to have that discussion.
It's interesting you say that because, I have a toddler, and we've been to several daycares, and we've all pretty much been told this has to happen. Like, you have to have these shots. So that's interesting you say that.
No, daycares may be under different rules than schools.
Okay.
So let me check on that for you, and I will get Ms. Hines to check on it as well. I will look into the law. I mean, I can show you the law about the schools.
Yeah.
I don't know about private daycares, how that works.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, because you have the right to refuse any medical treatment, but oftentimes people bully up on other people.
Tell you what, we need to take a quick break. Chuck Owen is our guest. He's state representative from Leesville and DeRidder. We'll come right back.
KSYL. This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter. At the clinics, your health is our priority. Whether it's a routine checkup or ongoing care, we are here for you. Dr. Noah Miller, our newest family medicine physician, along with 5 other dedicated family physicians, are now accepting new patients. Schedule your appointment today. And remember, if you're ever admitted to the hospital, our doctors will see you there too. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinics, 1587 North Bolton, 445-9823, online at theclinics.us.
Timber and oil and gas built Central Louisiana. Advances in carbon capture and storage have come along to make Cenla a business leader once again. Now, groups outside Louisiana spreading lies and misinformation have convinced some friends and neighbors to oppose this game-changing industry. The truth? Carbon capture is safe and will provide hundreds of jobs and millions of dollars for schools and roads. Log on for facts at AmericanEnergySecurityProject.org.
You too could have a beautiful smile in as little as 12 weeks. Exclusive to today's Dental in Pineville, Virtual Align Clear Aligners, the fastest, most convenient, affordable way to straighten your teeth for people on the go. Plus, they're invisible. No one will know you're doing it. Experience the Virtual Align difference. Call Today's Dental at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. 448-4540.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
And we are back. State Representative Chuck Owen is our guest here on Talkback. We've been talking about vaccines in light of what Florida is doing, in light of the hearing yesterday with RFK Jr. You had mentioned when you were a kid, when I was a kid, how different it was. And I saw this graphic someone posted yesterday. It showed in 1962, the childhood vaccine schedule were 3 vaccines with 5 doses, OPV, smallpox, and then DTP. The timeline kind of moves forward, and then hang on. By 1986, it was 12 vaccines, 25 doses. MMR was added to that. Okay, it was the National Child Vaccine Injury Act of 1986 made companies exempt from liability. And now by 2023, 57 vaccines, 90 doses and counting. Now, correspondingly, all of these other things have increased, such as chronic disease, autism, et cetera, et cetera. Correlation is not always causation, but this is what Kennedy's point has been all along. Something is happening that's causing our kids to be sick, and as a result, adults to be sick, and it has to at least be looked at and discussed.
Well, if you ask to discuss it, you're going to be excoriated.
Yeah, that's what's crazy.
If you bring it up, it's like, don't bring that up.
Yeah.
Don't you dare bring that up. No, take the shot.
Yeah.
But there is so much money here.
Yes.
We found out 2 years ago in the legislature, and we tried to pass a law for transparency on this, failed. But, physicians are financially incentivized, and the more vaccines that they give out that are on the recommended schedule, the higher rebate they get from Big Pharma. Y'all know that?
I've heard that. I haven't actually ever asked a doctor if that's the case. I know sometimes.
Actually true.
Huh, interesting.
Actually true. My friend Beryl Amade tried to pass a law on that a couple of years ago to make it publicly disclosed or to cap the amounts you could get, because some people get like $250,000 their vaccine incentives that they give out.
Wow.
And so there's significant money there. And so anytime there's money, there's going to be challenges with human behavior.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, the liberty argument is a very valid one. That's kind of the side that I lean on for the most part. I may not agree with everything that everyone agrees with when it comes to that, but I'm just curious and to see when those studies come out from RFK, because we've been hearing about, like, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see that.
There was the one he mentioned yesterday where they showed the difference. It was done in the Atlanta area around 2000, and he said it was done on, his words, black boys, where if they got the MMR vaccine really early, they had had a higher rate incidence of autism versus those that waited. It was like a 285% increase, something like that.
Yeah.
So
I just like to see more. Like, it's a very interesting topic.
We deserve.
I may not agree with everything that everyone agrees with on this show, but I mean, I would like to see it.
Let's have the discussion. Let's put the data on the table and talk through it. Right.
Yep.
That's all we want. Look, I don't mind being proven wrong, and I will readily admit if I screw up or I miss something. But we owe it to ourselves, first of all, take care of our families and ourselves, and then people like me in public positions to make sure there's as much information out there as possible, so citizens can make their own decision. And if you want to blindly trust your doctor and you got one you trust, go right ahead. I have doctors I trust. that I'll do just about whatever they say, but I want the right to go look.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like the fight we got in. My wife and I, not my wife and I get in a fight, but when my wife and I got real sick from COVID, on the way out of the hospital, the physicians in Shreveport said, well, as soon as your antibodies wear off, wait about 3 months, make sure that you get the COVID shots. They insisted that we needed to take the COVID shots when they were telling us we were about to have antibodies.
Right.
There was so much conflicting information for 4 years of our lives there. It was tough.
And every doctor, almost every doctor we went to around here, encouraged us to take the COVID shot in this area where I live and in an area around here. Take the shot, take the shot. I was talked off the ledge by a physician in Florida who happened to be a family member. And then the more I looked into it, I found some other doctors. Hey, by the way, speaking of doctors and COVID shots, there are 2 Louisiana physicians that were just named to the National Inoculation Advisory Council. One from Baton Rouge, one from New Orleans. They testified at our hearings.
Okay.
So Louisiana is going to be represented on that advisory council.
I guess this brings up a bigger point too, or an equally big point, is why in America do we allow big companies, ultra wealthy people to inject their money into politics and influence everybody all the time? Like, why do we allow this to happen?
That's a $1 billion question.
It's not new. Yeah, it's a trillions of dollars question, actually, Al.
Yeah.
Look, it is not new, and the impact of lobbying is good and it's bad. A lot of times lobbyists can get you good information, but they're eventually working for someone who is trying to get a position passed.
Do you have any idea?
Sometimes you don't.
How many lobbyists work the Capitol during a session in Baton Rouge?
How many?
Yeah.
Well, I would say at any time there's dozens, if not scores, of them in the building.
Okay.
Depending on the issue of the day, sometimes they'll bring in hired ones from out of town or out of state. Like when the carbon thing started 2 years ago, they hired a whole fleet of them to come in. On the pro carbon side.
Right.
So it's down there. Look, and we have regulations, we have laws about transparencies and about, interactions and donations and tracking and activities. And, there are always laws that people find ways to, I would say, thread the needle around.
Are there laws about turkey hunting trips?
Sir?
Are there laws about turkey hunting trips? You don't have to answer that. That's just me.
Yeah, about them tigers.
Oh, man. Well, before we let you...
There's perceptions, too.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Now, oftentimes, we get in, people in public life get in tight spots based on who we have lunch with or who we speak to.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then you start going on trips with people, looks different.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If it's something you don't know too, and we kind of experience this in our world as well, if you don't know something, your mind kind of goes to the sometimes conspiratorial route. Like people thought we conspired with NBC every day in our previous job to deliver liberal news to America.
Yeah.
And that's just not the case.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, sometimes the content that they would send us had a slant to it, but we did our best to try to not put that out. So always a challenge, though.
Well, look, and we're dealing with that in the carbon discussions too, about the perception, the reality, what's really happening, what people think might be happening, and I believe we all just need to do our best, especially folks like y'all continuing to be fair brokers of fair conversations like this. This is what will keep us safe in America.
Well, we appreciate you saying that. I always appreciate your time. You're great to call in when you're on the road. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on this news of the week. So before I let you go, Leesville, I know you do some of the radio broadcasts with them, the sideline reporting. And
he's at the Wampadome.
Yeah.
At the Wampadome, the Wampascat Stadium tonight, 7 o'clock, taking on the Sam Houston Broncos. So we lost an 8,000-yard rusher last year, not for his career.
Yeah.
Xavier Ford picked up 8,500 yards in his career.
Wow.
So those are big shoes to fill, but
definitely.
let's pause, you'll get it done.
Where did he end up going to college, by the way?
University of Minnesota.
Oh, that's great.
The Gophers.
He's a Gopher.
Oh, awesome.
Uh-huh.
Well, wish he had gone to Wisconsin, but that's another. Maybe they didn't recruit him. They should have.
I wish he'd gone to Louisiana Tech.
Yes.
I just heard Minnesota was a little bit better than Wisconsin.
Oh,
overall.
come on now. He's trying to start it up. He's trying to mix controversy here. State Representative Chuck Owen, District 30, Leesville and DeRidder. Thank you so much, sir. Have a great weekend. And
y'all have a good weekend. God bless y'all.
All right. Thank you, sir. And we'll be right back.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
The world once needed lots of paper made right here in central Louisiana. Now we're making a comeback with clean methanol. Beaver Lake Renewable Energy will turn Louisiana wood into fuel, creating hundreds of direct and indirect jobs and giving loggers a steady market again. It's not just a plant, it's a promise to our land, our people, and our future. Visit BeaverLakeRenewable.com and find out how we're putting central Louisiana back on the map.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Cenla's best at Bricato's Restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt-in-your-mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Bricato's Restaurant, 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-506-3355. 800-506-3355. 800-506-3355.
Talkback. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
All right, again, thank you to State Representative Chuck Owen coming on to just talk about that issue. Definitely timely. I'd reached out to him even before the RFK hearing, so it even ended up being doubly timely. Doubly? Yeah, doubly.
We'll take that.
We'll take it. So hour number 2, we have a lot more to talk about. We can take some of your phone calls as well if you want to react to the hearing. We could play some of the sound bites from that yesterday.
And if any good singers are out there, we need you to call in and sing happy birthday to Alan Quarter.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm a bad friend because I didn't know it was his birthday today. I forget my birthday too, if that makes you feel better.
I'm not much of one.
What's my birthday?
Yours is November 27th.
Oh, it's going to be so mad if you got it right.
24th? That's close. I always know it's around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's the only time of the year you really required having off.
That's
work.
true. Yeah. Just because the Cowboys.
You go to the Cowboys game and enjoy Thanksgiving with your... Don't you have family in the Dallas area?
Yeah. Scurry, Texas.
Scurry.
Next to Kaufman.
Oh, of course, Kaufman. Yeah.
That's some liberty-loving folks out there, let me tell you.
Liberty lovers. There you go. Free state of Dallas.
That's right.
All right, we'll take a break. Top of the hour news. Come back with more at 8:05. So be with us.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenla Broadcasting. AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The Labor Department is flashing a new warning sign. In Brand new numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
The government said the economy produced 22,000 jobs. That's lower than the 75,000 expected. The previous 2 months were revised lower by 21,000. Of course, that's much lower than the more than 250,000 of revisions we had in the July report.
The jobless rate ticked up too last month.
The unemployment rate increased to 4.3%. That's the highest since the fall of 2021.
The numbers will figure into the Fed's decision on whether to finally lower interest rates, something President Trump's been calling for months now. The Fed is scheduled to meet later this month. Don't call it the Defense Department for much longer. CBS's Linda Kenyon says Mr. Trump's expected to sign a directive today, reverting back to a name that stood for 150 years.
The executive order renames the Department of Defense as the Department of War as a secondary title. President Trump's order also authorizes the Secretary of Defense, the Department of Defense, and all officials to use secondary titles like Secretary of War and Deputy Secretary of War in all official correspondence.
It became the Defense Department shortly after World War II. The District of Columbia is taking the Trump administration to court over the president's order that sent National Guard troops into the nation's capital. Correspondent Scott McFarland.
This goes into the D.C. federal court, and it will be the U.S. Department of Justice defending this lawsuit. So you will have the Washington, D.C. Attorney General versus the United States Attorney General in court.
New York State will try to get around the FDA's new COVID vaccine restrictions.
Governor Kathy Hochul plans to sign an executive order that would allow pharmacists to vaccinate anyone over 3 years old without a prescription. The FDA has only authorized COVID shots for people 65 and older or people who have underlying medical conditions. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was criticized for that new policy during a Senate hearing yesterday.
I would say effectively we're denying people vaccine.
Senator Cantwell.
You're wrong.
California, Oregon, and Washington are forming an alliance to issue their own vaccine recommendations. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A worst-case scenario becomes a reality in the NBA.
Caitlin looks like she's in pain after that pass.
That's the WNBA's Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark announcing on X she'll miss the rest of the season because of injuries. Clark hasn't played since July 15th. In her X post, she says disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how she's feeling. Dow futures down 33. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Colleen Crane. The Louisiana Secretary of State announces the results of an investigation into non-citizens registering to vote.
Secretary of State Nancy Landry says 390 non-citizens were found on the voter rolls, with 79 of them casting ballots in recent elections. Landry says they were able to determine this by getting free access to the federal SAVE database.
In previous administrations, it was $1.75 per name to search, so now it's free of charge.
Landry says thanks to the signing of Act 500, people will now have to prove their U.S. citizenship when they register to vote.
That will also help us to keep our voter rolls clean on the front end and make sure that we don't end up with ineligible voters on our rolls at all.
I'm Andrew Greenstein.
Fall weather's coming, and so are fall allergies. Allergist and immunologist at Oxner Health, Dr. John Carlson, says there are some good treatment options at your local drugstore.
The most effective medication is a nose spray that has a steroid in it.
He also recommends saline nasal sprays and artificial tears. LRN.
up.
Gather the family and join us for the Sinlaw Shrine Circus at the Laborde Earls Coliseum. Catch all the excitement with 3 thrilling shows on Saturday, September the 6th at 10, 2, and 6:30, and 2 shows on Sunday the 7th at 1 and 5. Tickets are just $20 for ages 13 and up. Kids 12 and under get in free. Get tickets at the 3 Max Fresh Market locations, Security Sporting Goods, and the Laborde Earls Coliseum box office. For more info, visit the Sinlaw Shrine Club's Facebook page. Don't miss out on the fun.
Good morning. Partly cloudy skies on our Friday with a slight chance of an afternoon shower thunderstorm. We're saying about a 20% chance of that. Afternoon high still toasty, 95 for the afternoon high. Now 73 the overnight low tonight under cloudy skies. And then for Saturday, things start to cool down. Cloudy skies early, partly cloudy in the afternoon. We'll see the highs only near 85. From the Sinlaw Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
I got the latest numbers from CDC that 76.4% of Americans now have a chronic disease. This is stunning. When my uncle was president, it was 11%. 1950, it was 3%. Today, it's 76.4%. 8 out of 10 of our kids cannot qualify for military service. This is a national security issue. When my uncle was president, we spent 0 on chronic disease. Today, we spend $1.3 trillion. It's the biggest cause. It's increasing. And all of the arguments that Republicans and Democrats have about single payer, Obamacare, or the various ways to allocate the health dollars, they're all like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. If we don't end this chronic disease, we are the sickest country in the world. That's why we have to fire people at CDC. They did not do their job. This was their job to keep us healthy.
Thank you.
And I need to fire some of those people to make sure this doesn't happen again.
All right, welcome back to Talkback, hour number 2 here on your Friday. Al Quartermont along with Stephen Maxwell. Yeah, that was the quote I was looking for, where he said, the latest numbers from the CDC show 76.4% of Americans now have a chronic disease. It was 11% in the 1960s. In the 1950s, it was 3%.
I mean, it's a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. But here's my question. What is the United States government going to do about it to make you get off the couch?
Yeah.
Like, what does that what are you going to do?
Right. No, you're right. A lot of it comes down to individual responsibility. A lot of it comes down to lifestyle changes. In the 1950s, people didn't sit around watching TV all day, for example.
A lot of us have desk jobs. A lot of us
yes
play video games.
Because you'll see like pictures they'll show. This was a beach in California in 1963, and you notice everybody's thin, right? But I also think it has to do a lot of what they've put into our foods. So, you know, remember?
Yeah, maybe.
When they did the whole fat-free movement, and then everybody started eating more processed carbs instead of eating good, healthy proteins, for example. So it's a multifaceted issue, and I admire and appreciate that Secretary Kennedy is trying to get to the bottom of it. I mean, look at himself. You know, that dude's, he's fit. You ever seen him working out? Like, the guy,
he is.
He's swole, as kids say. Versus who we had the last one was, So I'll leave it at that. But,
I'm a big proponent of it. To me, it's how we raise our children, what environment they're in, you know, and they example what you do. But I mean, I just took it upon myself, a personal responsibility to make sure that I was a healthier person.
Yeah.
And it's really not even that hard. It takes some mental barriers to get over.
Yeah.
You know, it was not easy in that aspect, but You got to make it a
junior
habit.
year in college, Stephen Maxwell looked much different than...
I went to Los Portales a lot.
We went to everywhere a lot.
Yeah. In high school, I was pretty normal. Like not normal, but like normal size, I'd guess.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You get to college, I kind of sat around. It was like a free-for-all. I lived in the country my whole life, and now like, I have McDonald's here, and I have, Mexican
Taco
restaurant
Bell.
here, Taco Bell, the footlong Coney's at Sonic.
I'd be working in the evening, and Stephen would come in, food?
Yeah.
And we'd go eat somewhere. So.
And then I was like, oh, okay, well, it's time to start moving and doing something. And since then, I just, you kind of keep it off at that point.
You're doing great with it.
And you have to, like, educate yourself.
Yeah.
I learned how to eat properly.
Mm-hmm.
I watched YouTube videos and read a lot of different posts and articles. It's just personal responsibility. Take care of yourself. I get there could be messaging in the schools about, physical education, be full of vigor and, rigorous training. I get that. And I think Kennedy did that whenever he was president.
Yeah.
That was a lot more prevalent. I wasn't there at that time, but from what I understand, that's what I...
Wasn't he the one that started the presidential
as far as I know,
award?
yes.
Yeah.
And so it's just a different time.
Which I think Trump's trying to bring that back, I believe. So that would be good.
Maybe he should lead an example, stop eating McDonald's every day. And
for his age, he's not, he golfs a lot. That's his activity.
He is not in good shape, Al. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to dog. Like, it's not like a partisan thing. He's just not in good shape.
Yeah.
So.
He works a lot.
Plain and simple. So what? Everybody works a lot. RFK works a lot. That dude's in shape.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He is. All right. Well, we got a lot of calls coming in. Let's take those on the BOM Bank Talk Line. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call. Stephen, you just captured the argument. You said you evidently made a lifestyle change and you got yourself healthy, and it's your personal responsibility. That's what it always was up until the beginning of the 20th century, when leftist Democrats, started with Woodrow Wilson, came to believe that the masses are not intelligent enough to run their own lives. And so they began working in this direction where the government would make those choices for us and herd us into what was best for us. And it took a long time. But I can remember in the 60s and the 70s, my mom wouldn't buy anything that didn't have the Good Housekeeping seal of approval on the bottom. Everything she'd pick up off a shelf, she'd turn it over.
Wow.
Because that was a non-governmental agency that tested things thoroughly. And if they put their seal on it, you knew it wasn't going to hurt your kids. I remember my mom talking to other moms in our neighborhood and church about chickenpox and going to a chickenpox party because they understood. They got us the polio. I remember people with polio. And they got us the vaccinations that were proven and were necessary, and because they cared, and they were able to do that. The problem with the left, and I'm not impugning the masses of the left that believe that people are not intelligent enough to run their own lives. They genuinely believe that, and they want to do what's best for the masses. The problem is when you create that funnel, when you concentrate that power, then you have room for unscrupulous people to do what the representative was telling us they do. They vector things into creating an unfair advantage for themselves and the people they work for. That's how they got that legislation passed to not hold vaccine companies liable for the damage there. And you quoted the numbers of how many vaccines that came out right after it was now safe. All they had was the good end. Capitalism works. Free enterprise works when you have the promise of unlimited wealth when you're successful, but also the danger of if you fail, you lose. Well, they took that away. They tilted the game in one direction. All they could do was make money. They can't lose it because they're protected by the government. And so this is the fallacy of leftism. And I'm so glad you had Representative Owen on there. He's I think more from my generation, and we remember when our mothers did these things, and we all lived, we survived, and not only that, we thrived, because when you're Stephen, no one can take away from you what you did. You reformed your life, and you may not know it, but you earned your own self-respect. Had a government official come and take you and said, "Son, we've noticed you're a trend in your life, and you're not exercising enough, so we're going to meet you every morning at 6, and and then you would not have credit for that. This is a whole problem, the whole difference between the left and the right. The right believes in dangerous liberty, where you're free to make your own choices, but you also have to handle the consequences, be responsible for the outcome. The left thinks you can't handle it, so we're just going to take care of you. We're going to pat you on the head. We're going to wipe your nose and clean your diaper for you, and you'll have a happy serfdom.
Hey, I want to get your thoughts on this too. It's like you said, if you fail, you lose, and that's just part of capitalism. I want to get your thoughts on the Intel deal we've been hearing with the administration. I don't know if you've been paying attention.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I have, and I don't like that. I understand why he's doing it, because those chips are necessary to our country's survival. I wish there was a better way of doing it. But we are so far over where China, our enemy, is making the things that we need for our defense, our drugs anyways. Taiwan is making these chips. He wants to reshore that. But I don't like him marrying individual companies with governments. In the Kennedy's day, like JFK, what the government would do is offer a prize. If the government wanted to accomplish a goal in a certain direction, they would offer a cash prize, just like Elon Musk did when he wanted to find out if his car could be hacked. You know, remember that? He offered like $1 million reward, and they put a Tesla on a track, and he took a group of college boys, and 5 or 6 of them, like 15 minutes, and they had the trunk open and the doors open. And Musk thought it was hack proof, but he found out by offering a cash prize. He didn't. Now he hired those guys, but he didn't usurp government and the free companies, private companies. I'm concerned about that. I understand he has to react to the situation that we're in, that's been building for decades. But I don't like that.
I mean, anyway, they're talking about doing it with other companies as well, taking a stake in it.
I know.
And that's
the thing is,
actual pure socialism.
Well, it's more corporatism. Thing is, it'll work fine as long as somebody's in the White House who loves America and wants what's best for America. But when we get somebody who has different scruples, has different life goals and ideology, then it'll go real bad, real fast.
That's my argument with federalizing our local law enforcement. That's my only argument.
Well, that's true, but there's a slippery. You use the slippery slope argument a lot. What did you think when cities and states and counties started declaring themselves sanctuary cities? Does that present a slippery slope? Because see, what they've done is they've said we're not going to follow these laws. Now,
a lot of people would, look, I'm not the expert on this. A lot of people would argue that's the 10th Amendment. That's the right.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I'm for the 10th Amendment, yes. And that's our problem to begin with. We've gotten so far. They've used the Highway Act to circumvent that 10th Amendment greatly. But we're at a situation where there's the problem in the cities is because the philosophy of the left is not to punish crime. Trump saw within our established laws a way that he could go in and punish crime and accomplish in D.C. and in other cities, maybe New Orleans, what Giuliani did in New York. Look, my wife and I went for a cruise in New Orleans a few years back, and they had signs in the French Quarter saying travel in large groups for your own personal protection. That's saying we can't keep you safe. Travel in large groups. We saw 2 of those signs from the time we entered the quarter to the time we got to the dock. Now, that's a city that surrendered. So, yeah, they need help. And I agree. It should alarm us all when we see these links having to be taken. But my goodness, if you know anybody that lives in New Orleans, I have family that lives down there. My mom's from New Orleans. It's terrible. So anyway,
look, I just think I've always come from like a conservative standpoint. We've had 250 years of fighting, of people dying to preserve the Constitution and for liberty. And no matter what the circumstances are when we try and circumvent that said Constitution, my alarm bells go off. And I don't like it. I don't care who the president is.
Where were those alarm bells when people were getting shot in Chicago at the level they're getting shot at?
I think the people of Chicago
Alexandria killed in New Orleans.
I agree. The people of Chicago should take a stand. If they don't like their leaders, they should make it known that we're going to like somebody else and we're going to fund the police department or push for different things.
That's true, but there are times that intervention is required. I don't know if y'all remember, this happened right after World War II. I think they call it the Battle of Alabama, or there was a group of, there was a entrenched bureaucracy that had sway over this county, and they rigged all the elections, and they would stop people that were on the bus, and they would pull them off and fine them for something. That's how they made their money. It was a Ponzi scheme, and it got so bad that when the World War II veterans came home and realized what was taking place in their town, they rose up, took their own guns, they laid siege to the city hall in that town, and they called the state police to come in. When the state police came in, they realized that it was the local people that were corrupt, and none of those people were prosecuted. One guy died, and it's failing me, but if you look it up in history, it's a fascinating tale. But what happens, sometimes the locals get so entrenched and that's why our founders saw this, and that's why they put levels of checks on power. If you think your local people are bad, you call the state. If you think the state's bad, you call the federal government. These cities are living in generations of people. Did you watch any of the interviews of people in Washington, D.C.? Mm-hmm. This man came out and said, I had not taken my family out to dinner after dark in like 20 years.
Yeah.
We've gone out every night this week.
Yeah.
They're free.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's drastic times call for drastic measures. But you're right, Stephen. We need to watch it really closely. Thanks. Y'all have a great weekend.
All right. Thanks for the call. We need to take a break. We have more calls holding on. We've got a 2-minute commercial break. We'll come back with your calls after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Timber and oil and gas built Central Louisiana. Advances in carbon capture and storage have come along to make Cenla a business leader once again. Now, groups outside Louisiana spreading lies and misinformation have convinced some friends and neighbors to oppose this game-changing industry. The truth? Carbon capture is safe and will provide hundreds of jobs and millions of dollars for schools and roads. Log on for facts at AmericanEnergySecurityProject.org.
All of us have that one friend who can just light up the room with a smile. And sadly, how many of us are just a little bit envious of that friend? Well, here's the good news. The folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver that beautiful beaming smile. Over the years, hundreds of hopeful patients have visited and been completely satisfied. They've made getting dental implants an amazingly simple, low-anxiety procedure, one that's affordable for anyone's budget. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you feel comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled, certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Isn't it your turn to light up that room? Give Today's Dental a call at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Gauthier. That's 448-4540.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
And we are back. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Yeah, yesterday we were talking, or y'all were talking about, personal responsibility, how the system works, this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
One of the issues is that if you have a well-educated public, then the public basically, the system operates well.
Mm.
When you're in a line at Walmart or Kroger or something like that, there's somebody that's ne'er-do-well with a dozen EBT cards and trying to figure out how to pay for their groceries. That just shows somebody that's basically ignorant.
Mm.
I'm not saying that they're stupid.
Right.
I'm saying that they're ignorant.
They haven't been properly taught.
We have a system that generates large percentages of ignorant people.
Mm.
Now, I've been associated with Scandinavia most of my adult life. And granted that those countries are small and they have a fairly uniform population, but everybody's educated as to the level that they can reach. And the socialistic system over there works because the people are basically a uniform group and they're educated.
You know, I think, like Sweden, for example, people say they're socialists. They will adamantly deny that. They tried socialism in the 70s and 80s, tanked their economy, and they privatized. So they have a high welfare state. The least earning people in that country pay 60+% in taxes because they're the biggest users of that system. But all of their so-called socialized medicine is privately run. All the hospitals are private. The providers are private. All of their other, even their social security system, they call it the pension system, is privatized. So calling it socialism may not be accurate, and people who use the system pay by far the most.
Well, great, but the whole point is that they understand the system and they basically can read and write generally in 2 different languages.
I think aren't a lot of those countries now starting to have more issues though because of the influx of immigration?
They have very strict immigration laws. Yeah, those countries, Scandinavian countries.
Those do, but a lot of the other European countries are.
England's having issues, I think. I mean, you're saying kind of the same thing over there.
Well, Sweden has had a problem by letting in a bunch of Muslim refugees that basically cluster together and apparently won't assimilate.
Right.
So anyway, the whole point revolves around education.
Yeah.
If you can read and write, you probably can function.
Which,
and, I mean,
when you look at our country, at one point, we were very good at that. We can't probably claim that right now. Now, we've seen improvements in Louisiana, but again, you can go back and see at the point that they established the Department of Education at the federal level, every measurable statistic has fallen precipitously since that point. I believe it was founded in 1979 or 80. So that's part of the reason why Trump wants to do away with it and just give block grants to states.
Yeah. That's why the voucher system is a fantastic idea, in my humble opinion. Yeah. It creates competition. Public schools have to compete with each other. Even an open enrollment in Rapides Parish.
Yeah.
You have to compete with each other.
Right. Competition is
well,
good.
you still have the problem of children who come from families and social groups that basically are perpetual welfare people. And if you don't break that cycle, you're going to continue to have people basically overdosing and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But by the way, you guys each have a cell phone, right?
Yeah. Stephen has 2 of them.
Well,
I got 2 right here.
Well, your cell phone, basically, if it doesn't have it, you can get it, an exercise app. And you can find out how much exercise you get every day. And I make it a point at my advanced age to make sure that I get at least a mile or more walking each day.
That's good. That's great, actually.
Now, is that good for me? I don't know, but
it is.
I try.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
But anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for the call. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, do y'all think that the COVID vaccine saved one life?
Do I think it saved one life? Whew. I don't know. I don't know that I've thought about it in that context.
Do you think that any way we'll ever be able to know that?
I think that's the issue, is people don't know what to believe. They're not sure what's real. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, do you remember Typhoid Mary, what happened to her? She was a real person.
Okay.
Well, she was a carrier of typhoid, but she never contracted it, but she carried it, and she infected a lot of people, and eventually she was arrested and put in an asylum for the rest of her life.
Really? Huh. I didn't realize that. Wow.
And back in the 1800s, back in the past, there are people like that who carry smallpox. They carried it, they spread smallpox, but they never contracted it. And the general rule to deal with them, if they didn't want to isolate themselves, they would just shoot them. They would just shoot them.
Jeez.
And their horse, and burn all their belongings.
Wow. That's. I hadn't heard that before either. Interesting.
Well, there's nothing new here. I'm not arguing for or against it. It's just I like to look outside.
Yeah. And I mean, I think as we look back on all of that time period now, there were a lot of crazy suggestions. I mean, remember the vaccine passport idea? You couldn't go across state lines if you didn't have one, and I mean,
it got pretty crazy there.
The asymptomatic carrier, I guess that's kind of what you're referring to with a typhoid Mary type, would be someone who showed no symptoms but was spreading it. How do you know, right?
Yeah, I know. I know it's an important topic, but I'm kind of still over it at this point.
Yeah.
We've talked about this ad nauseum.
Yeah.
And so when we get the data and we can see those things, if we ever do, I'll be interested to know.
Right.
There are some things I didn't like about the pandemic. There are some things I think both sides got wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of unprecedented, which is another word I hate after those times.
Uncertain times.
But I am wholly, and I probably don't know if I have any contractual obligations to say otherwise. I am wholly against people being forced to take something in their workforce 100% if they do not wish to, especially when it came to that.
I would agree. I'll be right back.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Earlier, the Bureau of Labor Statistics had said it was experiencing technical difficulties. But despite the warning, the August jobs report came out as scheduled this morning, and it showed that job growth came in far short of expectations, with just 22,000 jobs created and the jobless rate ticking up to 4.3%, the highest since 2021. Traders maintain bets that the Fed will cut interest rates at this month's meeting. Lululemon is bracing for a financial hit following the end of the de minimis tariff exemption. The retailer warned it would take a $240 million hit this year from President Donald Trump's decision to end the exemption covering small packages shipped directly to consumers from abroad. Canada-based Lululemon relied heavily on the de minimis exemption, shipping 2/3 of its U.S. online orders from Canada. And stock futures have been mixed, with the S&P and the NASDAQ futures higher and the Dow futures edging lower in the wake of that jobs report. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Louisiana forests once fueled our economy. Your granddad logged these woods. So did your dad. And now, Beaver Lake Renewable Energy is keeping that legacy alive, turning thinnings and wood byproducts into clean fuel right here in Pineville. It means more jobs, stronger forests, and a future that honors where Central Louisiana came from. Be part of Louisiana's next chapter. Visit BeaverLakeRenewable.com and find out how we're putting Central Louisiana back on the map.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-506-3355. 800-506-3355. 800-506-3355.
Good morning. Partly cloudy skies on our Friday with a slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm. We're saying about a 20% chance of that. Afternoon high still toasty. 95 for the afternoon high. Now 73 the overnight low tonight under cloudy skies. And then for Saturday, things start to cool down. Cloudy skies early, partly cloudy in the afternoon. We'll see the highs only near 85. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
The
670 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just tell you one example, and I could sit here and give you thousands. But in 2002, CDC did an internal study of Atlanta in Fulton County, Georgia children, and looked at children who got the MMR vaccine on time and compared those to kids who got them later. So in other words, kids who got them before 36 months and kids who got them afterward. The data from that study showed that Black boys who got the vaccine on time had a 260% greater chance of getting an autism diagnosis than children who waited. The chief scientist on that, Dr. William Thompson, the senior vaccine safety scientist at CDC, was ordered to come into a room with 4 other co-authors by his boss, Frank DeStefano, who's the head of the immunization safety branch, and ordered to destroy that data. And then they published it without that fact.
All right. So that was more from the RFK Jr. hearing on Capitol Hill yesterday. So he's saying a study showed that Black boys in the Atlanta area who got the MMR vaccine on time versus those who waited had a 260% higher chance of being diagnosed with autism. But then he went on to say how they just buried that. They just didn't publish it. That's concerning. Yeah, for sure. It's been a lively discussion this morning about health and those sorts of things. And we still have the phones lit up. So let's go to the BOM Bank talk line again. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hi. First off, I want to say happy birthday to Al. I saw that you're celebrating another year, so happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm a long-time listener. This is my first time calling in.
Wow.
And I'm calling in. Yeah, I love listening to you guys. You do a great show. Thank you so much. But so I want to call in because, you know, the reason why I voted for Trump this way around is specifically because of RFK Jr. And people paint him as a kook all the time, but I was listening to him on your midnight show, Coast AM, for a long time. He would call in and talk to George Norrie and tell all his stuff that he was learning and everything. And so he is specifically one of the reasons why I voted for Trump. I've never liked Trump. I'm 48 years old. Personally, I don't like him, but he made more sense than Kamala Harris. I tried. I listened. I was waiting for her to tell me, hey, what you going to do? And she never said anything. So he was what swayed my vote. And when it comes to the vaccine debate, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I did vaccinate my children when they were growing up, but I refused a lot of them because I educated myself. And my take with what RFK Jr. is trying to do is, hey, let's look at it. Let's see what's really going on and what's causing our kids to be unhealthy. And I don't want anybody to tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do, but convince me it's the right thing. Right. That's all I'm looking for. You know, give me information and let me process it. I'm a registered independent, but I lean libertarian. I'm for decriminalizing a lot of things, so I just don't talk about it. Most of my friends and family, because I get in trouble with both my liberal friends and my conservative friends. So I just try to avoid most of it. But if it comes to my thing is more liberty, more freedom, but more information. There's no such thing as too much information. Give everybody everything you know and let them make their own informed decision. And the problem with our current state of politics is the money tends to get to write the information or the narrative or the story that we're told.
Yep.
And I mean, I can't trust that. I have a hard time. Y'all talked about it today. I've had a hard time trusting our healthcare model. My grandmother, she used to tell me, you go to the hospital to die. And I grew up in the 80s and I can count on my hand how many times I went to the doctor before I turned 16.
Right.
but my mom knew what to do, and she had all this wisdom, folk wisdom and stuff like that she implemented to keep us well. And I almost never got sick. And I did the same thing with my kids. I did vaccinate them, but I did the basic stuff. I didn't do all this craziness, 25 doses and all that stuff. No. And my kids grew up strong, healthy. They almost never got sick. I think I had twin sons, and I think they each had the flu maybe twice their entire life, because I let them get dirty and I let them play with their friends and all that stuff. And I just think people, we love black and white arguments. This is right or this is wrong. And unfortunately, I think a lot of it is a gray area, and people have been trying to paint RFK Jr. as a kook. And I don't think he's a kook. I think he's just trying to bring a conversation to the table that most people don't want to talk about.
100%.
And so I think it's great. Now, I don't like some of the stuff he's doing, but I like a lot of the stuff he's doing. Yeah. And my thing is, use your brain, listen and look at the data, listen to both sides of the argument. Like your guest earlier, the politician said, I'm okay with being wrong, but show me I'm wrong. But don't tell me I got to do something just because you say you know better than I do.
Right.
And so thank you guys for everything you do, and I appreciate listening to y'all every morning. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, and don't hesitate to call in again sometime soon.
I sure will.
Okay. Great caller.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
All right.
Thanks so much. We need to take another break. We'll come back with more calls.
KSYL. This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with the clinics. We provide primary, family, and chronic care along with gastroenterology, podiatry, with on-site lab and x-ray services. I'm pleased to welcome family physician Dr. Noah Miller to our team. We are currently accepting new patients, and same-day appointments are available. If you're admitted into the hospital, our doctors will see you there as well. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinic's on North Dalton, 445-9823, and online at theclinics.us.
Storms, tornadoes, power outages. It's the season, so get prepared. Get storm ready with Southern Air. Get a free estimate on a generator, the right generator for your home and family, plus 0% financing for 60 months with approved credit. Let Southern Air help you take the worry out of hurricane season. Take action now. Visit southernairnow.com and let us bear it. Or give us a call at 318-777-5555. Keep the lights on with Southern Air.
Nothing to do?
Cenlaw's got you covered.
Fall Fest is full of family-friendly fun. It's coming to Coatill Lake in Boise on Saturday, September the 6th. Enjoy live music, a kids zone, food vendors, arts and crafts vendors. Load up the kids for a fun day at the lake.
Love local art? Then make plans for Saturday, September 13th as the Cenlaw Artists Market comes to Fighting Hand Brewing Company. Enjoy local art and meet the artists while sipping a craft beer. Details on Facebook.
Come celebrate National Hunting and Fishing Day on Saturday, September the 27th at the LDWF Education Facility in Woodworth. It's a free event offering fishing, shooting activities, door prizes, and more. Learn more online.
Make plans now for the Red Wagon 5K and 1 Mile Wagon Pull on Saturday, October 4th at the Louisiana Athletic Club in Pineville. It's a fun-filled day of exercise and activities for the whole family. Check it out online.
Go have some fun.
Cenlaw Broadcasting.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Thank you again to all of our callers for holding. Let's go to them. Good morning, you're on Talkback.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you this morning?
Doing very well, sir. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. First time caller, so I'm not quite sure, and I'm brand new to the community.
Oh, wow. Well, we appreciate you calling in, and welcome to the community.
Yeah, this is wonderful. So I have two things that I want to just reflect upon.
Okay.
This is a fascinating conversation about health. Matter of fact, this coming weekend, we are celebrating, we being a little church community here,
okay,
celebrating one of our members turning 100 years old. Now, talk about health.
Yes.
That is a wonderful thing. Somebody who, at 14, World War II broke out, and his number got called, and he stepped into that and served the country and served this community for quite a long time. So when he say back in the day, he's not talking about the 50s, 60s. He could be talking about the 1925. So that is quite a back in the day. The other thing about this that I noticed about this conversation is it's a fascinating conversation about health, because we lay people are trying to trust what the professional in our government is giving to us and offering us. But as of late, there is a quite challenge with this information traffic, because pharmaceutical companies have dictated quite a bit and influence our medical health. And so we're not, the lay people are lost because quite a bit of doctors are lost because they go by what data and study are being given to them. They are not, most of them are not doing the study. They are just going by what is being approved. And so we have to take the risk of trusting the system. Trusting the people who we give money through text to do the research. But if the information is being shaped in such a way that money is much more important than people's lives, then people will lie and fake the data to get the money instead of saving a life. And so it leaves us lay people in the dark. We're just walking in the night hour, hoping that the medication we're taking or not taking, whichever side, it's almost like 50-50. Either you take the medication and take the risk of trusting a study, whether the study is complete and pure or shaped by someone else to push some agenda, or you take the life to your own hand and figure it out. And so it's really, really a challenge when we talk about health.
Yes, sir.
Which means we are individually responsible for our own life. At the end of the day, I mean, nobody asked to be here. We were given opportunity to live this life.
Yes, sir.
And so all we can do is just share with one another while we are able. And so those are two things. I just want to share that we have a young fella among this community who will turn 100 years old. We're going to celebrate. He's a member of the congregation that I steward over. And it's a big deal for us.
Hey, where's that church at, and when's the thing happening?
This is Newman United Methodist Church. It's 5700 Moran Avenue. It's in the Martin Park area.
Okay.
And so on Sunday we're going to celebrate him in our worship service, and then and the Sunday morning at 11 o'clock, and then 2 o'clock, the family and friends, and we come for a big party, and then on Monday, at the library in front of Peabody High School, the veteran will get together to celebrate him. And the city council meeting on Tuesday, I'm told. So don't quote me on my information, but this is what I'm told. I'm a second source to this thing. The city council will acknowledge him in their regular meeting. And so I just wanted to share with the community. This is worth celebrating.
Yes, sir.
Can you send me some information? I think that'd be a cool story to cover. I come out and do
that'd be wonderful. That is why I think it was fitting that we have this opportunity just to share. It's a great story for the community.
Are we about to go to a break?
Yeah.
All right. Can you stay on the line? I'm going to get some information from you.
Sure.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hang on. We'll be, for the other callers, hang on. We'll just have a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
One big, beautiful bill. A signature achievement for President Trump. The decisive vote to get it done in the U.S. Senate? Louisiana's Bill Cassidy. Cassidy stood with Trump to provide historic investments in border security. Together, they delivered critical tax relief for working families. And the Trump-Cassidy law will boost manufacturing and energy production right here in America. And when President Trump needed a partner in the U.S. Senate to pass tough new penalties on fentanyl traffickers, it was Bill Cassidy who stepped up and got it done. With Trump and Cassidy, you can count on one thing: a conservative agenda for Louisiana and America. Call Senator Cassidy at 225-929-7711. Thank him for standing with President Trump and for fighting and winning for Louisiana and America. Paid for by Louisiana Legacy Policy Solutions, Inc.
Hey, Alexandria, whether you're behind the wheel of your truck, the family SUV, or your favorite weekend ride, your vehicle deserves the best protection on the market. At Ceramic Pro Alexandria, we offer the unbeatable protection of Ion and Ultimate Ion ceramic coatings, as well as ceramic window tint and top-of-the-line paint protection film. Protect your investment inside and out. Keep it cooler, safer, and shining like new. Call Joe at Ceramic Pro, 318-619-0862 or alexandriaceramicpro.com.
Talk back. To take part of the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy
The
free.
question is, everyone who wants it, that was your promise.
I know I didn't. I never promised that I was going to recommend products with which there is no indication.
When you said.
And I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
Did you hold up a big sign saying?
Oh my gosh. $855,000. Putting the health stuff aside, that's just insane to me. We allow that in our American politics. Don't you see how that could be ruining democracy?
Oh, absolutely.
Or it could be ruining our constitutional republic?
Yep. Yep.
Please, come on.
Yep. Welcome back, everyone. Talk back here on this Friday morning. We've had lots of calls coming in, so let's continue with those. Good morning, you're on Talkback.
Yeah, Cassidy's got $1 million the last 2 years. You wonder why he's pushing vaccines? That's sleazeball.
Pretty much everyone on that whole panel is getting. The only one who doesn't get money from pharma that I saw is Ron Johnson, the senator from Wisconsin.
Yeah. Cassidy's a real slime ball. Hey, anyway, I wanted to tell you something I've been reading the last couple of days. There's a nasal spray, antihistamine nasal spray called Astapro. It has antiviral activity, and they've been doing studies on it. And it reduces, you use it 2 or 3 times a day, it reduces the incidence of COVID, RSV, rhinoviruses. Pretty effective studies with it. The only bad part about it, it tastes nasty. So you spray it up your nose and it gets in the back of your throat and it tastes nasty. I guess keep a couple of Tic Tacs around, you know.
Yeah, definitely. What was the name of that again?
Astapro.
Astapro.
All right. You gonna go grab some of that, Steven?
I'm not like an anti-vaccine guy or anti-medicine guy, but I don't like taking medicine, period. So I try to avoid it as much as possible.
Have the cold then, I guess.
I just like to go run it off. I like to run it off. I like to see how much pain I'm in to see if I need to.
It reminds you you're alive.
That's true.
Another thing, the question about whether the coronavirus injection shot saved any lives, I don't know. I'm not going to say 100% it did or didn't.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you what my primary care doctor told me. One of his friends, colleagues, is the doctor for a nursing home. So when they were dispersing the vaccines around, the nursing home got their first dose. So the nurse, it was right at the end of the day, her end of her shift. So she only gave 2 shots. She was going to give the following vaccinations on Monday when she came back.
Mhm.
Well, she gave 2 patients their COVID vaccine. Well, by Monday, those 2 patients had both died.
Wow.
So they didn't get any more. They didn't get any more.
Wow.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate the call this morning. Thank you. And let's go to one more. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Yeah, good morning. I just appreciate your show this morning. As far as us getting a position in Intel, I'm kind of, I thought it was the Biden administration that actually gave Intel some money, through the CHIPS Act, and didn't take any position for the U.S. government. And I think if you go way back in 2008, when the U.S. government bailed out Wall Street and all the banks, I don't think we got, as far as the government, what we got, everybody else, I don't think we got anything. And then Obama came along and bailed out the auto companies, and I don't think we got anything out of that. And if you go way back when they bailed out Chrysler, at least Chrysler paid back the government, So what Biden did, at least Trump is kind of protecting the interests of the government and us, everybody else in the country, and instead of just letting it go by the wayside.
Well, I think conservatives would be against giving subsidies, period. And I think conservatives would be against being the number one stakeholder for the means of production in the industry.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It was done by the Biden administration and not the conservative administration that actually gave them the money. At least Trump is trying to protect the position of the government, and at least protect the interests that the government has. I don't particularly care that it's in there, but I don't think we're going to stay in there. But at least we're not, just passing the money away. With no protection like anybody else would do. And okay, thank you very much.
Would it make a bad problem worse?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But that's a good point, and I appreciate him calling in to offer some thoughts on that.
It's like not him. I'm just saying, the administration is like talking about both sides of their mouth. We want to make federal government smaller, but we're going to take the majority stake in these large companies. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
It's not a very conservative approach.
No, I think you're right in that. All right. High school football tonight, everyone. It's the first big night of high school football. Northwood Gators are hosting Menard. That's at 7 o'clock. All these games are at 7. Ash is at home hosting West Feliciana. So when they beat them, they'll say, bye, Feliciana.
I was thinking that too.
We have Marksville hosting the Avoyelles Mustangs. Big Avoyelles Parish battle there. The Block Bears will be hosting Buckeye. Bolton will be facing the Mamu Green Demons, one of my favorite sports names.
I didn't know Mamu was the Green Demons.
Yep.
Huh.
The St. Mary's out of Natchitoches will be at Bunkie today. Washita Christian hosting Caldwell Parish. DeRidder hosting South Beauregard. Faraday and Vidalia squaring off in a big, is that Concordia? Yeah, Concordia Parish battle. Grant in a big Grant Parish battle hosting the Montgomery Tigers at 7 o'clock. The Gina Giants are on the road against Mangum. And let's see what other games we have here. Just trying to find other ones that are more regional. Almost forgot. Pineville. They are on the road at New Iberia today under their new head coach, Justin Charles, former LCU head coach for football. And let's see, Tioga hosts Sterlington and Winfield hosts Jonesboro Hodge. Should be fun. High school football.
I don't hate to be negative, but I don't miss going to high school football games because I hate dealing with the traffic.
Oh, yeah. The crowds can be somewhat intense depending on which stadium you go to.
It's kind of pathetic of me, but that's just the main motivation not to go.
So if you guys enjoy football, get out and enjoy it. And of course LSU and Louisiana Tech tomorrow. You can hear that game on our sister station, 96.9 KVMC.
Happy birthday to Al. How old are you, Al? You don't have to say.
The big 60.
Nice.
I'm old. I'm now as old as Nathan.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting.